My Gen Z people and people in this generation, you must not buy every gadget.
No, I like the fact that you say if you can afford it. Well, even if you can afford it, it's an investment.
You get to a certain level as a couple and a family that you ask yourself, is this a want or a need? You know, when they say ladies are always a culprit, I have a man here that is a culprit when it comes to buying things and not letting things go. Hi guys,
hello.
Welcome back to our channel. So today we'll share some helpful tips that can help families, be it a small family, a large family, or even couples that are trying to plan for their future. Maybe they have kids, they don't have kids. These are 5 simple ways you can save. Say you're planning to buy your first house, you're planning for a major project, a building project, or you're planning to raise money for something that is very important. These are 5 things you can cut off from your day-to-day life that can save you money in the long run.
Yep.
Obviously, every family is different. Every family budget is different. It's important to understand, first of all, before we go into this, first of all, it's important to understand your financial level. We're not saying that obviously if you can afford it and you can splurge on it, by all means go for it, but this is in a case where you're trying to save money in a particular season. Say in a season where, like in our season where I have to be home for a period of time to be a stay-at-home mom to take care of a baby while my husband works solely, or in a season where you're trying to buy your first house, you're trying to buy something that is of great financial capacity, and you're trying to save and cut off a few things to help.
For me, number 1 is fast food. I hardly eat out. For me, sometimes if I couldn't buy, the other day I bought something was even a bacon, egg, and cheese on the croissant. It was just on Saturday. It was like $4 something. I don't eat out, not because I cannot afford it, but it's a waste of money sometimes. You know why? Because I eat from home. It's even healthier to eat from home. My wife makes me a lot of food. So my lunch, breakfast, dinner, I eat from home most of the time. So I don't spend money eating or ordering food here and there. I see that a lot of people like to do that. They either order food a lot, then you pay for tips, you pay for the food. Then sometimes the food is not the delivery fee. Sometimes it's not even filling. So most of the time, it's better to cook your home food or make your home food at home than to eat out.
Definitely. So add to that too, as a family, it's one thing to be single, and obviously this applies to you being single, because the truth and reality is that if you don't learn how to curve your budget and have a good financial planning skill when you're single, it's going to spill up when you marry. You have issues where but you and your partner are not going to be on the same page in regards to how the finances are made. Wow. Obviously, so this applies to single people, but obviously as a family person, to be very realistic, imagine you on a day going to McDonald's or going to KFC, to buy breakfast. Ideally, a meal in KFC or McDonald's is averagely around $11 to $15 per person. So imagine buying for a family. Say you have a family of 4, a family of 5. That's about $60 you spend just on breakfast. Yeah. And then you're too lazy to cook, you're tired, whatever the plan may be, and then you have to buy lunch from, say for example, I don't know, Chick-fil-A, Mr. Biggs, Domino's, whatever, pizza, and then you end up spending say another $40 depending on what can fill the family. And then dinner, you order in, you can find out in a day, give or take, you're spending $100 to $130 or $40 on food. And that is not sustainable. That is not sustainable. If you're able to curve, say half of that, maybe sometimes it's difficult depending on the arrangement of the house. You are too busy, people that are working, no time to cook or whatever the case might be. If you're able to cover in that, you find out in the month, to be realistic, you can save close to $500 to $600 on just fast food.
Yeah, you know what I also learned? The thing is, even if you don't know how to cook, you have to learn how to cook. When I was in university, thank God for the kind of parents that raised me, some of my siblings. We were on the roster to cook at home. So we learned how to cook, so we can cook. Even when I was in university, we used to cook. So we don't go to cafeteria or what they call it, the restaurants to eat. No, we cook. Most of our meal we cook. So we do that. Now, even when I was single, I was still cooking. My wife knows about it before she became my wife. I was cooking. I do my grocery and I cook. And the other thing, juice, all these juice, you bet too much. Some people, when you open their fridge, you see this different kind of juice inside the fridge. It's
I
not
mean,
even healthy for you.
yeah.
It's not even the best.
Not just even like just extending fast food to buying like things like wine. There's so many things that we eat on a day-to-day that, and I mean, I'm sitting here saying that if your budget can afford it, fine. But if you're someone that's in a situation where you feel like I can save money, things are so expensive, food is so expensive, have you checked how much food is? These are basic necessity I eat. You tell like you get, it's not like I don't buy things that are so expensive. This is food. Even when it comes to food, there are ways to save money, in food, and that's what tips for sharing. And so things like wine, things like, you know, there's some expensive drinks and all. Like if you're in a season where you have to like buy a special supplement or a special drink, you know, fine. But you know, find ways. One thing I learned, and I've always been that, like when it comes to budgeting and meal planning, something that I've definitely always, you know, if you can get something cheaper and better from a particular store, then go there to shop. You know, why buy things from a store that you obviously know that is more expensive? Have a grocery list. Even when you're going to buy food, this is beyond fast food now. Have a grocery list. You know, one thing that a lot of people don't do is that if I know the things in my head, and then you go there and you end up picking things that you don't need. Have a grocery list. Plan for the week. You know, have what are the essential and have what are the non-essential. And if you want to splurge, buy yourself a nice drink or whatever, go for it. But at least you make sure that you have the essential covered, especially when you're raising a family, having kids and all. Planning is so important. And you'll be amazed how much you will save on fast food. If you have kids that say, oh, I don't like to eat rice, my kids sometimes can get picky. This one doesn't want rice and stew, this one likes beans, this one doesn't like beans, and so many other things. And so for a mom sometimes can be overwhelming. And sometimes these kids, they know how to get you to buy the chicken nuggets and things like that. But if you really want to save, you know, you have to find a way to plan better and learn to say no and deprive yourself of certain things to be able to save for whatever you want to save in that season. Number 2 that is very, very important and I think will help you when it comes to saving is clothing and gadgets.
Wow.
So big. And adding to that, obviously we're a family, but talking to also my youngies and my single ladies and men, my Gen Z people and people in this generation, you know, you must not buy every gadget that comes in. We are iPhone users and we know how tempting these things can be, you know. When you have an Apple phone, before you know, in a year they brought out a new one, in a year they brought out a new one. And if you're not careful, even if you have the money, you know, sometimes people feel like, you can't afford it, that's why you're talking. Even if you can afford it, do you need it? You get to a certain level as a family, as a couple and a family, that you ask yourself, is this a want or a need? When you become a family, you start having kids, a lot of other responsibility comes up. And obviously, in our world today where everything is more expensive, right? It's just unrealistic to say you want to keep upgrading your phone every year. But
you know, the good thing is the phone my wife bought me before this one I have, I think it's 15 right now. I don't change phones.
Yeah.
Sometimes I act as if they don't even exist.
Before the 15, he was using I think a 12. Isn't it 12?
No, I was using I think
12.
No, before the 15 I was using iPhone 12. My wife bought me that phone too, I think so. Then but I had it for almost 3 to 4 years. But the good thing is that when I have a phone, I don't know whether there are other phones in the world. I stick to it. Except I find out that maybe the phone is getting too old. Then I start desiring a new one.
Yeah.
So, like in the space of almost 5-6 years, I'm having just 2 phones.
Yeah.
But there are people out there, you change your phone every 6 months. I don't like this one. The camera is not as bright. Exactly. You change it.
Even every year.
Phone is not. Phone is a means of communication and what you can do with it.
Exactly.
Maybe like business person.
Yeah.
That's what matters. It's not the fact that you change your phone. He's like a promotion now. Just cut down on all that.
Yeah.
Cut down on it.
And even beyond phone, let's just talk about, like, you know, devices. So there's a new speaker, Bluetooth speaker. There's a new Apple wristwatch. There's some gadget that, you know, people just invest in just because it came in newly and all. You know, one thing I've learned is that if you deprive or you have learned to have that self-control and say, you know, right now in this season, I don't need this, you find out that even after that season, you may not even have the desire. sometimes is the ability to hold yourself in that moment, is the ability to hold yourself in that season. That's the breakthrough you need, to be honest. Because we have people that, they buy what they don't need, they buy what they cannot afford, and then God help you, in this world where we live in North America, where we have access to credit card and credit this and credit that, before you know, you're paying off four gadgets, be it a phone, be it a wrist, so you're paying them off every month, and you're asking yourself, did I really need this? So this is for family. Obviously, if you're raising a family and in a season you're trying to save or cut off the things, gadget. Clothing's another one.
You said clothing?
Clothing's another one.
Exactly. Our wardrobe. I went through our wardrobe, honey. Oh my God. I saw clothes that look like I've not even worn.
My husband,
I have too many of them.
Too many clothes.
So right now, I don't even buy clothes like that. I don't. But I don't go to where they sell the clothes. I will not be tempted.
Exactly.
So I avoid going to the mall. I don't go to the mall.
Yeah.
I don't go. I have enough shoes. Even when I give out something fews, I still have a lot of shoes. I told one of them I'm still going to give them a lot of clothes. Too much.
Too many, yeah.
And clothes there, they don't really wear out, because abroad, your clothes can still look new the way it used to be. Because we're not, you don't from car to work to church. So many clothes.
And let's not talk about the season where they have Black Friday sales, things like that, 20% or 50%. Although 70% the sales are not the way they used to be years ago. But why go to the mall if you don't have a specific reason why you're there? There's a time I used to go for window shopping when I was much younger. I was single. And I used to go for
single. Yes, we went to window shopping.
We'll just go for window shopping because we just want to see what's going on in the mall, and then you end up buying something you never budgeted for. Now we're married. Honestly, first of all, anytime I have off, I just want to stay home and relax. But then, why go to the mall? Why tempt yourself? This is for my ladies. I know different shades of foundation. MAC is doing their sales. Sephora, Fenty, different hair. In a season where you're trying to save, cutting down on clothing, hair, and gadgets will save you a ton.
Shoes,
that's clothing. Shoes, jacket, handbags. You don't need another brown handbag, for crying out loud. Honestly. So if you're trying to save as a small family or as a large family or as a couple starting their life, try to save, cut down on the clothing you buy and the gadget. One thing my friend taught me that was a helpful tip, she said, if you look at your wardrobe and you have a clothes that you haven't worn in a year, 6 months is more like a better landmark. You have one clothes, you've not worn it throughout the year. It has no business being in your wardrobe. Don't keep it there for another 4 years. Give it to somebody. Bless somebody's life. Or if you want to do a sale online, do a sale. Go on marketplace, sell the clothes.
That's what some people do.
Exactly. You don't want to hoard. My husband, on the other hand, we need to revisit that topic because he doesn't want to let go. He has no space for my clothes because he takes off all the wardrobe. So, when you say ladies are always the culprits. I have a man here that is a culprit when it comes to buying things and not letting things go. So, you can save a ton on clothing.
The next one on the list we're going to talk about is your manicure, your barbing of hair, your shaving or making hair and all that. So for me, barbing, I usually take my son to barb his hair, most especially special occasions. I want it to have a nice haircut. But for me, when it's just like aligning the hair, I do that a lot. When you see him today, you think he just cut his hair. And then I also cut his hair. So by doing that, I save money in my pocket. Not every minute, every week, every 2 weeks, every month you take.
And you trim your beards yourself.
I trim my beards, I cut my hair. I don't go to the barber shop. I've been doing this for years. Just imagine how much I've saved for myself. I've saved so much money, and it's so expensive now. Honestly, I went to the barber shop the other day. They said to cut your hair, to line your beards and everything, it's about $35 or more for both. But if you're not doing both, just the hair alone, they will tell you it's $25. The point I'm trying to tell you is that just imagine spending that kind of money every 2 weeks. That's a lot of money. That would be useful for me for gas.
To gas, exactly. Yeah. And so to add to that, obviously, men may seem less complicated. When it comes to women, ladies, we know maintaining hair, I was taking stock of how much, as a lady, we put into our hair. And my husband was talking about the fact that we pay like a hairdresser to do our hair and it was costing too much. I am on Instagram and TikTok and I see, ladies go to a salon and they spend $400 on braids, $600 on braids. and they lose it in 3 weeks and go and make another one. And as a family, a small family and a couple that is trying to save money or just cut down on costs, girl, YouTube is your plug. Go on YouTube, learn simple hairstyles you can make for your daughter, you can make for yourself. I learned how to make hair. I never even went to learning school, no, I just had the interest. I just felt like, I might just as well learn how to make. And then I started with a baby doll, and then I just started learning how to braid. And I'm not like a professional. At the end of the day, can I make a simple hairstyle for my daughter?
She does.
I can. Can I make a simple twist out for myself?
She does.
I can. At the end of the day, as a lady, especially as a mom or as a homemaker that is trying to, save costs or try to, cut down on expenses in your home, hair making will save you a ton.
Yep,
Do you get?
exactly.
You don't have to make your hair every 3 weeks. You don't have to. If you can afford it and you have someone that can do it at an affordable price, by all means. But if you have to spend $400, $500 on hair, you can cut down. Learn how to make simple stuff.
I like the fact that you say if you can afford it. Well, even if you can afford it, is it an investment? That's the question you should ask yourself. You see, the money you could have saved to use to buy shares or do other things, you're just throwing them away. See, life is too important. You can't be doing that. You may not really know how much you would have worth until you start saving. Do you understand? So, I don't want to know if you can afford it. Everybody can. I can afford certain things, but I don't want to just do it.
Is it a necessity?
It's not a necessity.
Is it a need?
It's not a need for me.
Let's not talk about manicure and pedicure.
Yeah, before you can afford it, still think about it. Does it worth it? Wasting that money.
True.
So that's what you should talk about. Thank you.
No, I definitely agree, honestly. And obviously, on that point, to just raising up nails and manicure, pedicure. Ladies, oh my God, I'm not here. I'm all for you looking beautiful and paying. Self-care is key. I'm a big preacher of self-care because I believe so much in caring for yourself. But I don't know. I'm just in a season where I just feel like, do I need to go spend $60 doing my nails and my leg every 3 weeks, 2 weeks? No. Honestly, I'm big. Of course, manicure is important to cut your cuticles, make your nails look better. I'm all for it. But do you need to do that every month? Do you need to do that every 2 weeks? No, you don't. And these things can become so addicting. Once you start, you feel that pressure. There's a time where when I started doing my nails, I've started working, I'd finished school, I would just feel like I was in a place where I could afford it. It now became like a pressure, because when you do the first one, you don't want to go back to your short nails, so you feel like you have to do the next one. You don't have to. I had to get to a point where I felt like, you know what, nah, I need my nails. When I became a mom and I had to take care of babies, cook and clean, I need my nails. So if you want to buy, cheaper options, you go to the store, be it a Shoppers Drug Mart or a pedicure and a manicure store, get like the nail cutters or the color nail polish and put it on your nail. You don't have to always every 2 weeks go and fix fake nails or do the whole process. But yeah, you'll be amazed, an averagely on 2 weeks, $60 for your fee, and that $60 is not affordable. Most times now they've increased it, so it's $70, $80. And in a month you're spending about $140, $150 on nails.
Just imagine.
That can be the money that you can save. So ladies, wives, homemakers, just a tip to help you.
The next thing on our list is TV subscription. I had a friend of mine at work. I just asked him, I said, how much do you pay for your cable? He said $270. I was like, really? $270?
A month?
A month? Or just on cable? Is it because I have different rooms? I have a boss here, I have a boss there, I have a boss there. I was like, wow. $270 on cable.
$270 US dollars.
US dollars. Yeah. I was like, okay, it's fine. He doesn't know that. I was like, wow. For me, I used to pay, was it Comcast? I used to pay like $115, something like that. And they gave me some Chinese and all that. I just looked at the whole thing.
Do you really
we don't use it. I'm always busy.
Exactly.
You're never at home. I don't even use it.
And you're paying $270 and you're always working to pay that $270.
Exactly. I'm always busy. I'm not even home to watch these things. I'm like, okay. I just thought of it, and the network was, the network was not that great. Their service was not that great.
Sure.
So I decided to change to a different one, Verizon. I'm not advertising, I'm just telling you my experience. Verizon was far better, but I just got their internet. I paid $70, so I saved about $30 or $40. That was great.
Yeah.
and I don't need cable. I can sign up on things online, and that's it.
Yeah.
And we enjoy it, and it serves almost everybody in my house.
Yeah.
Even the tenants, I give them, and it's been nice. So the point is, find a way to save on all these things.
All these things. Honestly, adding to that, we live in a world where we have access to Wi-Fi. I don't even know. Growing up, obviously, we didn't have like Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi was not just a thing. So TV, having Disney, having African Magic, all those channels, MTN, MTV, whatever, they were like, that was it. Cable was a thing. In this world today, where we have YouTube, sure, YouTube is taking over in such a way that, like, this is a platform that we're on YouTube, having everything, how to cook, how to bake, sport, whatever. Sometimes people are like, you don't get to watch it live. Must you watch it live? You mustn't watch it live. You can watch it the rerun on later on YouTube. And then we have this competition now where there's Prime Video, there's Amazon Prime, there is Netflix, there is Apple TV, there is Disney TV, there is, so many of them, honey. You are paying so many things. Dear husband, dear wife, dear family, you can choose one. If you want to choose Netflix, because maybe that works better for your kids. Every month. For your kids, even Netflix now is $25. I remember when Netflix started,
family package, which is good.
Yeah,
it used to be $9.
Yeah,
there was a time it used to be $9.
Talking about the family package, I think we can cut down to the single package.
No. I don't want single because I have a lot of people. So $25 is not a big deal, But the point we were trying to say, look at, I had the same guy again. How much do you pay for insurance? I know some people where you live matters. You have only one car, you pay $400 on insurance. Oh my God, $400? In America, there's some people are paying $35 for insurance, full coverage. You pay $400. I won't do that. Even if I have too much money. This is how I think. Why would I give insurance person $400 to drive a car? I think if I live in Boston, for example, I'd rather Uber if it's going to even save me money. But the point I'm trying to say is too much. So you have the option of shopping around.
Yes.
Contact other insurance agencies.
So this subscription, you can shop around. Even with the internet, we had found the first choice, and then if we did not shop around, we got the first choice. It wasn't good. So you have options. Back to what I was saying, just to add stress on your point, you don't have to have all of them. You don't have to have Amazon Prime. It's like everybody's trying to grab for your attention. Yeah. So you choose the one. For us, the kids watch a lot more stuff on Netflix, and they have more options for kids on Netflix. So we're going with Netflix. Prime Video can wait for now. Apple TV, Disney TV. The time we had Disney, but then if they had to choose, it was Netflix that they chose. So it's what it is. So at the end of the day, you can save a lot on subscription. You find out that if you really take stock at the end of the month, between your car insurance, which is a kind of a subscription, of course it's compulsory in certain parts of the world, like in America, you have to have a car insurance. But look at your car insurance, look at TV, internet subscription.
Even your health insurance, you can shop around too.
Yeah, look at health insurance. You can find out that some people are paying almost $1,000 in a month.
Paying times 2 of what somebody's paying one.
So shop around, ask, look for deals, look for other companies, check reviews, shop around. If you don't look around, you never really would know. Even internet, I found out that if you decide to leave a company, they are willing to keep you if you.
They actually gave me like $30 bonus or $25. I didn't even bother to use it. I didn't want it because
definitely
my aim was just to move around, save on the cost, and secondly the service.
It had to be good.
Yeah.
So long story short, TV subscription, car insurances, things like that, you can save as a family. If what you're using right now is costing too much, look at other options. Look at all your options before you decide and settle for one. So the next one on the list, and these are for my ladies that love to travel the world, is traveling. I love to travel. I feel like traveling is important for you as a family. I think at the end of the day, the world is so beautiful, the world is large, there's so many places to see, and it's, as a family, if you want to travel, by all means travel. My thing and my pet peeve with traveling, when I hear people, is how they plan everything last minute. They are very last minute with their traveling. For me, I believe in traveling and traveling a lot if you want to, but I believe in traveling on a budget, and I believe in traveling wisely. What do I mean by that? you know that next year you're going, like right now we're trying to look at trips for next year. For example, of our anniversary is going to be in August, so we're trying to see if we can plan a trip. I am one that believes, and I know sometimes it's not always realistic, but at January you're starting to see, okay, where are we going to go in the year? We're going to have a summer trip with the kids. At least start planning. Don't just wake up one day and just decide, I feel like going to China. And I mean, if you can afford it, but then again, it's not just about can you afford it, like my husband said. It's about, are there other things that this money can be more useful for? Absolutely. Especially when you're building a family. It's a billion and one things that you can use your money for. Children are there, school fees, so many things. Like I said, this is even a tip to help you if you want to have investment and you want to buy properties, or if you want to invest in projects that will give you returns. You can save. People say, I can't invest in anything, I can't own anything because I don't have the money, I spend so much money. But that's why we're giving you tips, so that you can reassess what you spend your money on, cut down, and have more money to save and invest. So traveling is a big deal. Plan ahead. Plan ahead. Look for deals. Buy your ticket for one deal I would say for traveling. Buy your ticket in non-peak period. And I know sometimes it's not realistic, but if you can afford to take time off in October to travel instead of August, by all means travel in October. Obviously August is more summer, everybody wants to have fun,
so
but
on time.
Yeah, plan ahead if you must do that. By January, February, if you want to travel in August, plan ahead, but try to buy tickets in non-peak period. Try to plan ahead, and look for cheaper deals. Compare. And if you can't afford it, and then you don't need to go.
The other thing I will talk about is share time. Don't buy share time. Don't go there. Don't try it. It's a scam. I call it scam. For me, it's a scam. How would you buy a share time that will tell you, for example, you went on vacation when there's so much deals that you don't need a share time for, that you can travel and still enjoy your life, and you're not paying monthly $500. Share time, don't do that. Vacation share time, cancel it. And when they are giving you the package, they don't tell you have 10 days to cancel. We almost made the wrong decision. Being a man of investment, we believe in investment. We don't waste money. Money is important. Don't waste it. So we tried to get into share time. I realized that this guy was giving us share time for
a lot of people don't know what share time is.
Share time is like share home, like vacation home. Some people say, okay, you can go anywhere within. You buy a package with us for $12,000. You'll be paying. You put down $5,000. You'll be paying maybe $250, $300, or $500 every month until you pay off the whole money.
Then
you can also, if you have your siblings or anybody, they can stay there. They can reimburse you some money and all that. Don't do it.
Yeah.
The reason why I should not do it, I'm telling you, I'd rather buy a house and have that house in my name, like a real home, where you can use for maybe Airbnb. You can make your money that way. You can do other things to you make your money. Or you buy an investment property where you have tenants helping you to pay your mortgage. Those are better deals than doing a share home vacation. Don't do it. It's a scam. So we were almost like carried away by it. But thank God, my wife knows me. I was very uncomfortable with it. I told them we need to cancel it. We canceled it. They were giving us a share time vacation for like $8,000 or $12,000. Somebody else, they were giving the person $6,000, the same package. You see, it's like a scam. They just play with your brain. So you have to be careful. And if you bought into such a thing, look for a way to cancel it quickly. You're wasting money. But if you feel like wasting money is okay for you, it's okay. But our own advice and opinion is for you not to waste your money. Rather, save that money, invest it on something. Do you understand? And my wife talked about traveling. Don't do your trip at the last minute.
All the time.
Don't do that. Except it's an emergency. But if it's not, always plan on time.
Yeah.
Then sometimes don't take too much vacation time. By traveling places, you're wasting more time. You don't have a home, for example. You will get there. That's my prayer. You will get a home of your own. Let's say you don't have a home. You're a single person. You have a nice job. You'll take it 10 times of 8 times vacation. Or you're going on vacation for 5-6 times in a year. It's too much. This is not just like you're relaxing at home. You're traveling far places, spending money. Who are you impressing?
Yeah.
You better
Can-
impress your pocket
Yeah.
than to impress somebody else. The honest truth I'm trying to say here is that you don't need to. For us, if we want to do a vacation, we don't do back head ticket, go far places every time and go on do vacation. No, we don't do that. We'd rather look for, if we want to do that once in a while, it's fine. But we'd rather look for so we can drive to 4 hours, 5 hours, chill, enjoy the things, save our money. Budgeting is very important. And sometimes if you want to get a ticket to, even when you're going on vacation, there are some deals that you need to buy into. It will save you a lot of money.
Definitely.
So that's it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm someone that likes, if I have to do like a far distance vacation, say Mexico, no, I like all inclusive deals.
Exactly.
They have everything included, and so you pay one fee for all. And obviously you still have to pay for a little bit of other things, maybe your flight and all, but try to find deals like that. It will save you a lot than paying just for your ticket, then you pay hotel separately, then pay feeding separately. Especially when you're a family person, you want to plan like that, like all inclusive deals for sure.
And the other thing you should also talk about, honey, is when you're going on vacation, what about rental car? You can do it with your vacation package, which is better, always better. Don't arrive there at the last minute. I want something that's supposed to be $20. They will say $50 for one day, or they will even tell you $70 for one day. This $70 would have been the whole money for the whole week. For example, I'm just giving an example.
Sure.
But you paid it for one day. Don't do that.
Sure.
And sometimes, if you know you're a good driver, why do you use your insurance? You can also use your insurance.
True.
My insurance, I use it sometimes.
True.
But if it's just $10, I don't mind if it's 2 days, I give them $20. So always have a way of cutting down on too much of expenses.
Definitely, especially as a family. If you want to have investment, learn how to cut. And finally on the list,
finally, we're talking about credit card. How can you cut down on spending too much money on your credit card? Don't open more credit cards, number one. If you have 2 credit cards already, don't be deceived. Don't say, we have this one, I just need one more credit card. They make it look as if it's easy. Don't. The more credit card you have, the more debt you have. The more interest you pay. And if you miss payments, you pay interest. You know what I mean? So for me, I have a lot of credit cards. I've started learning through the hard way. So I don't want somebody watching us right now to make the mistake. If you have one, keep that one. Only one, $1,000. Don't let them increase to $20,000, because it's like giving you rope to eat more money so that you can be paying more money to
be
them.
more in depth. Yeah.
So don't. 1,000. When they say I want to increase, say no, don't increase it. I don't need it.
Do
you understand? These things I'm telling you is very important. We're trying to make you not to make mistakes that you will regret. One credit card is fine. 1,000, 2,000 is fine, but don't 20,000. Never. And the other thing you should do is, if you have too many of them already, pay off the credit card. If you can't pay off the big one, pay off the small one. Don't use it again, just keep it. They will tell you, reactivate your card. Don't listen to them. Because the moment you reactivate, you'll be tempted to use it. So this is my experience, I'm telling you. I have 4 or 5 credit cards I paid off already. I don't care. I paid it off, reactivated. They will send me a new card, I have them. I never reactivated them. I don't need it. I don't. Why? Because the moment you reactivate it, the more you start using it again. So I just paid it off, take it off. I need to have 2 more credit cards or 3 more credit cards to pay off now. So the point I'm trying to say, you save a lot of money.
Credit card. No,
credit card for you not to, for you cut down expenses. The interest that goes every time, you don't want to be anxious. And the thing that makes things anxious abroad, most especially, is all these things. Student loan is there, some people.
Sure.
And some people, they had grants. How can you cut down? Apply for grants. Apply for grants. Don't only say I want to go and get a loan. No, you could be qualified for grants. Get your grades straight. Apply for grants. Save. And if you're working, instead of doing student loan, why don't you use part of your work money that you're working and get some grant and just be going through school like that? Instead of finishing school and at the end of the day, you have 30 years to pay off your grant, your loan. Don't do that. This thing we are telling you, they will not tell you. But we are telling you because we know it will save you from destruction.
Save you a lot of money. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Sure. So I hope this helped somebody. I hope somebody was able to get something that could help you. Like I said, this is just us sharing as a family of 5, sharing to help other families as well as young people, single people, help you save money.
You didn't even talk about how you went through school.
Okay, so yeah, I let's just say, Lord, I think we can relate. Obviously my case was different. I went as I told I was married, and obviously, and so I qualified for a lot more grant than loan, which is not the case for everybody. If you're single, you may not have as much grant. So I think my grant was about 55% of the total money, and then the loan was the other 50. And I made a decision to only take the grant and not the loan, because I didn't want to have loan. And obviously there'll always be that temptation to say, oh, I have loan, why don't I just take everything? But at the end of the day, I knew that I didn't want to be in so much debt after, like you said. So there are many ways to go about this. It's life, especially when you have an aim and you have a goal. Sacrifice is an essential part of having a family and marriage and raising a home. It will means that you have to sacrifice in so many areas, and especially when you're like a child, you're trying to save money to have more money for investment. You can cut. One of the ways you can cut is to definitely cut down on the student loans that you have, for sure. Yeah. So I hope this helped somebody. I hope someone was able to resonate and relate, and I hope you're able to make wiser choices and cut down on so many costs. I hope this was helpful. Till next time, like, subscribe,
and make a comment.
We'll
share with others, okay?
Definitely.
This Life with your Sage. Remember to promote this channel. Okay, bye
guys.
now.